Hello, welcome to PlayStation Access. My name is Nathan, and I'm here with Dave.
Hello.
Dave, this is Spider-Man.
Yes.
And he's on PlayStation 4 now.
Yeah, we've waited, about a year to talk about this again, Nate. And, it's been time well spent, apparently, because this game looks absolutely insane.
It looks nuts, doesn't it? And, you know, like in the modern era, to have a game like this be console exclusive when, you know, Spider-Man and Marvel in general are riding so high, this is nuts. And,
Yeah.
and it was, after the tease last year, that was excitement enough to keep us going. And then, really what I liked, this is a long old bit of kind of gameplay. And we really got to see, we get like a really great sense of how moving through the city is going to work. And then like the combat system as well. I thought it was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, this is always what you look forward to. Like, there was a weird sense when we last saw Spider-Man at E3 for the first time that it just looked like it was going to be a great game, and finally getting to see a long chunk of gameplay where you can see what you're going to be doing moment to moment has just confirmed that. It's just more than anything, they've made being Spider-Man so fluid.
This is
and
what I mean.
So many options.
This is what I walked out of the conference kind of saying was that. Finally, we get. I mean, I thought that Captain America: Civil War did a really good job with it as well, which was just bringing what people have loved the character for ages, which is this like insane agility and speed and kind of improvisational kind of combat, and also, I mean, it was almost comedy in this, but just keeping everybody safe. You know,
Yeah.
He's like disabling everybody, taking everybody out, immobilizing them, and then making sure that no one gets hurt whatsoever. And I thought that they have absolutely nailed the kind of the quickness and how much of the world he can interact with, and also basically just how powerful he is. You know, I think one of the problems, or you know, one of the tricky things about superhero games is making people feel like they are that powerful, powerful as these kind of, these characters which are barely imaginable, and which cinema has only just really caught up with, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, part of that is the sheer number of different kind of like takedowns and moves that he's using, using his web in all kinds of different ways, over and over again, like more and more different ways. That is just a huge part of being a superhero. I think that's a difficult thing to do, but it seems like Insomniac have just absolutely nailed it, because
I agree, and I thought that what I was looking for, I think we all do when you kind of get into these gameplay trailers, was I want to try and work out what the fundamentals of combat are, and then which bits are special moves and which bits are takedowns. And like, credit to the game, you kind of got a sense of it there, that there are some kind of basic kicks and punches and stuff, but really it looks like it's varied enough, and it's so much of it is kind of contextual and based on where he is and what's going on around him, that it was really difficult to kind of it was really difficult to tell.
There was loads of context, loads of contextual takedowns, which are just excellent. There's quite a few kind of QTEs in this, but I feel like they've sort of taken the traditional kind of a QTE and they've made it really contextual and interesting, and it doesn't feel like so. I don't know. It just feels kind of different.
I don't think it breaks up the action in the way that you would kind of normally. Associate with that sort of mechanic, and it felt more like you can position yourself within the world in order to deliberately interact with certain things, and it just gave it a totally different flavour.
And so cinematic. I mean, you're being Spider-Man. You want those big cinematic moments, and I think they've done it in a way that means you are doing it. You know, they're not taking it away by just giving you a cutscene. You're actually you're playing that. I love that now we're going to, this has all been great, but I really, really wanted to see Spider-Man moving through the city.
Yeah,
and
man.
The fact that we do get to see that now. I also love that this gameplay is just, this is real gameplay. It's got the HUD, it's got all the little bits of UI all over the place.
It's crazy how it works, isn't it? Like, when the HUD came up in the room, there was like a murmur of, the real deal.
Yeah.
This is exactly
That's what people want to see.
see.
They want to see what they're going to be interacting with, what they're going to be looking at for hours and hours and hours. They want to know exactly what to expect.
Do you know, something which really struck me from this trailer was just how powerful his webbing is. I mean, I know obviously that's like the whole point, but
yeah,
it's really strong.
Well, Nath, that a spider silk is actually pound for pound the strongest substance in the world. I might have made some of that up a little bit.
I don't know, but
if
if it was a lie, Dave, it was a convincing.
So a Spider-Man He's just got his webbing's even stronger.
Think of the advantage.
Pound for pound. So
Spidey senses.
Spidey senses. That's right. That's a big thing. But the city looks absolutely fantastic. We're finally going to see him after he saved the day, just moving through it, which is what I think. It's probably one of the biggest things, and people always talk about classic Spider-Man games about just swinging.
Well, there was a PS2 Spider-Man game where the one thing that they really nailed was swinging through the world, and it's so fundamental to the character and kind of that sense of being him, how he travels around the world, that this game really had to nail it, and I think that it does. And obviously, this is more of a set piece, but looking at the minimap in the bottom left-hand side, it does give you a sense that maybe this is a way that you're going to be traversing the world normally anyway, and in this specific instance you're chasing after this helicopter, and then showing off it's nuts, isn't it? How much kind of work and detail, like a little reference there to Peter Osborne, it's just flying past you in this kind of game. Like, someone built that building.
Yes.
It took ages to model that. Someone sitting at their desk, and the destruction model and everything. This was really impressive.
It was. I think you can see from this that they've taken away the moving through the city. I think they've taken away. It just seems like, I don't know, it's going to be really fluid and easy. I could see that there's a button press on the bottom right to perch. It almost feels like you tell him when to stop, and you're just going to be moving through the city, and it's not like you have to find handholds to, for your webbing and stuff. I love now that we've gone inside, and there's a really cool sort of set piece inside an office. Look at just what's going on.
I know, man.
So much stuff
to be
everywhere.
Honest, this is the second time we watched this this is the first time since earlier on at the show itself. And the amount of detail which I just had,
I know.
passed me by.
You can't see it with your eyes,
That I did see, though.
He saves the guy.
Every person has got to be.
Well, he's a good guy, isn't he?
Safely wrapped up. Yeah.
What is that he's carrying? Some sort of terrible smoke sword.
Yeah.
It's like a lightsaber gone bad.
But he's webbed up.
He's webbed up to the max.
I mean,
this is my nightmare, by the way.
Being
a helicopter crash?
A man spider on top of a crashing helicopter. At least then you'd have the power to fix things.
Are they going to see some of those sort of different QTEs that I was talking about here? They've just done. I think they've done well to make them more like this. That's you're doing something. It's not just press X. It's they've made it a skillful sort of challenge to enjoy. Although I'd like to see what happens if you mess it up. Everything.
Spider-Man wouldn't like that day.
Look at this first-person Spider-Man. Did you notice that?
No, I genuinely hadn't. It just all of it just came as such a rush earlier on.
Yeah.
And then there was the tiny kind of almost Holly earlier on likened it to like a post-credit sequence.
It was very much like that.
From a Marvel Universe movie.
Yeah, it was. Where I guess people are saying that
big
it might
hints
be
as to which Spider-Man you're currently playing as.
Yes,
this
exactly.
Man looks very, very angry, Dave.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
I've jumped the gun there because that was actually obviously the pre-ending sequence. Maybe that was just for us in the conference. Actually, let's have a look. No, here we go.
Here we are.
And this is just a little kind of reference to that guy is called Miles.
Yes, he is.
And Miles Morales is new Spider-Man. So that is just a little hint as to which Spider-Man you might be playing in this game. Although, as far as I know, nothing has been yet confirmed. So that was me and Dave being very excited about the fact that Spider-Man is coming to PlayStation 4. And we finally got a really good look at the gameplay, how the combat's going to work out, and moving through the world. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Do like this video if you enjoyed it, and stay with us all through E3 because we're going to have a ton of videos.